Hi bestie, welcome back to my channel where you're certainly gonna get hooked on books. And welcome to another reading vlog. This is gonna be another fun reading vlog because I'm gonna be reading my first Stephen King book ever. And if you know me, if you've been watching me and following me for a while, you know that I'm kind of a horror connoisseur of a sense, so it's very shocking and surprising that I haven't read any Stephen King. And I decided to go with one of his classic books as one of the first books to read. This is also one of the only ones that I have on my TBR itself, and that book is Cujo. And I'm shocked that I haven't read this book because I've seen so many people read it. And also, again, I don't understand what has possessed me to not read a Stephen King yet. I really don't understand. So I'm nervous but excited because I know that he's a very well-loved, well-renowned author in the horror community, and I have kind of high expectations. I am expecting for it to be a good horror book with very prevalent themes, with very strong horror forward elements. I don't know if this was maybe the right choice to be the first book that I read by him. I know that a lot of people always read it, but I'm not trying to read the tome slash brick that book is, because I've already seen the movies, I've seen the shows, I've done my due diligence with that whole world, so I don't want to waste the time to read the book, honestly. And I've also heard a lot of weird things about the back end of that book that I myself am not personally interested at all in reading something like that. So I'll probably skip on that for sure, because I know that's the most popular one. But I decided on this one because, number one, I found this one at Books A Million on the bargain section, and I was like, I have to get it because I haven't read Stephen King and it's only $5, so why not? And also, I'm interested because it's about this rabid dog slash wolf, I'm assuming. I really don't know. And I don't like reading synopsis, guys. I really don't. Because I feel like synopses always spoil the book for you to a certain extent. And I love going into books blind because I truly just don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into. And I'm always pleasantly surprised most of the time. So I would like to go into this blind, but for the sake of the video, and for the ones that might not know what this book is about, I'll go ahead and read the back. And then I'm going to try to do some Men in Black situation here and try to wipe my memory with some little flashlight to see if I forget that synopsis before I jump into the book. Cujo used to be a big friendly dog, lovable and loyal to his trinity, the man, the woman, and the boy, and everyone around him, and always did his best to not be a bad dog. But that all ends on the day this nearly 200-pound Saint Bernard makes the mistake of chasing a rabbit into a hidden underground cave, setting off a tragic chain of events. Now Cujo is no longer himself, as he is slowly overcome by a growing sickness, one that consumes his mind even as his once affable thoughts turn uncontrollably and inexorably to hatred and murder. Cujo is about to become the center of a horrifying vortex that will inescapably draw in everyone around him. A relentless reign of terror, fury, and madness from which no one in Castle Rock will truly be safe. Wow, okay, that's nerve-wracking because, I have a dog. She's a German Shepherd, so I don't, it won't be super relevant since this is a Saint Bernard, but oh my God. I don't know what expectations I had, but it was not that. So a family dog turned mad. Oh gosh. I'm nervous but so excited about this. Oh. And it doesn't look like the longest book. It's right under 400 pages, so should be good. And I'm interested to see his writing style, Stephen King's writing style, because there's so many people, he's so beloved in the horror slash book community, so I really am interested to see how this goes. But besides reading updates, because I have not started this, I'm going to start this, but besides reading updates, since this is a vlog, I would like to also talk about other things that I do with my life, and one of those things is crochet. I feel like I haven't talked about crochet in my channel in a little bit, so I think it's about that time. One big reason I haven't talked about crochet is because I've been struggling with a injury of my left shoulder. I'm getting PT and I have medication and I have an ortho, whatever the case is. We're not really sure how I got injured. It's kind of more just a muscle strain. So because of that, I haven't been crocheting for the past 2 months because the pain I'm not a lefty, I'm a righty, but the pain still kind of radiates, and the way that I hold my crochet hook with the project is still kind of hurts. Like, if you're a crocheter, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. But I just been taking a break because of this injury, but now that I'm feeling a little better and PT has been going, I have decided to jump back into my last whip. And whip means work in progress, just in case anyone does not know. But I'll show you guys this part right now. It's the part that's connected. So honestly, first and foremost, I'm using Loops and Threads 100% acrylic Colorcraft. And let me tell you that I am not a big fan of acrylic yarn because I am doing even rows, repetitive rows, and look at how this is coming out sideways. And I know that once, you know, I block the project, it's gonna look nice, but I hate that while I'm doing it, it looks like all lopsided and weird. And especially because the foundation chain, like the foundation chain in this one is 42 chains. And they're so tight compared to how loose these are up here from the most recent row that I've done. So I don't know, guys, like it does not scratch the right itch in my brain when I see this, but always when I complete the project and I block it and it's done, it's like, okay, it was all worth it at the end. But anyways, I have not even told you what the hell this project is. So I'm doing a front tie vest by Iris Crochet. I think it is. Hold on, I'll show you guys. It's an Iris vest top, sorry, by Crochet with Carrie. I want to show you guys what it looks like. There we go. That's what I'm crocheting. I'll definitely link the pattern in the description box below for you guys in case you are interested, but it's a pretty simple mindless pattern. To be fair, like I've already done the back panel and I did one of the front panels. I'll show you guys real quick, and I'm working on the second front panel. After I work this last front panel, I have to start sewing them together, like along the shoulders and the sides, and then I can do like the border. I'm forgetting what like the trim around the armholes and the neckline and the front of the vest here, because then I have to add buttons, and I plan to also make pockets for it, because another thing I did not mention is that I'm doing this vest for David because I just wanted to make him a little something. I tried to make him like a shirt maybe 2 years ago and that didn't work out really well. So now that I feel like I'm much more advanced in crochet, I was like, let me take it on and actually make him something that he'll be able to wear and it'll be nice. So I ended up doing an extra large and I realized that it's probably a little too big for him, but it's okay. So this is the entire back panel. Can't even show you guys fully because it's so freaking big. But yeah, whole back panel's done. And then this is one of the front panels. I'm trying to see what the direction is. I know that this is the armhole. So yeah, and then this, you see how it like curves like that because it's like a V-line, a V-neckline, whatever. I'd always forget technical terms when I'm in front of the camera. So yeah, I'll definitely be updating you guys on that throughout this vlog. I am only focusing on the Stephen King book because I did just want to do a Stephen King focused vlog for this. So we are going to go through a couple days probably. This weekend, today is Friday, August 7th, and this weekend my parents are coming up to visit and stay with us for the weekend because we're gonna have a little beach weekend. I'm really excited to start the book because I really am interested to see how this goes. I'm hoping that it goes well and that I am a Stephen King fan down and I start reading all of his backlist. So fingers crossed on that. And I think that's all the updates I have for you guys. So I'll catch you in the next clip. Okay, hi, hello, update time. I'm also just realizing now that my camera is super low on battery, so this needs to be a quick little update. So first things first, it's been a couple days. My last update that I gave you guys, I'm pretty sure was Friday. Today's Tuesday. And I am 25% of the way through with Cujo. And oh my goodness, like I thought that I was gonna like, be gooped and gagged and really enjoy it right from the jump. But to be honest with you, it's been a little boring. So it's not exactly what I was thinking, I guess. I was assuming that it would be a lot more centric towards the dog and how he acquired this disease and how he's becoming mad. I thought we would be following more of like the dog POV, but that's not really the case. We're following like 3 or 4 different like not POVs, but like different like stories, like different families. Like one family is specifically the owners of Cujo, which is a husband, a wife, and their son with Cujo. Then we're also following their next door neighbor, and we're following some other family that's like the husband's an owner of some big cereal company and the wife is cheating on him with someone else that's like trailer trash. Like, I don't know. I really was not expecting to be following so many different stories. And I don't mind it. I guess I am kind of invested in the stories to see how they come together with Cujo becoming rabid. And then another thing that I really is kind of irking me a little bit about the book is that there's no chapters. There's literally 0 chapters. It's all divided into like page breaks, and like every like page break, it's like following a different storyline or maybe a continuation of the previous storyline, things like that. So I don't know. I guess it wasn't exactly what I expected. I was really disappointed at first when I started and I was reading and I was like, I'm not interested. I really don't care. I don't care. So hopefully it does pick up. There has been like certain scenes that have happened with Cujo that are kind of like suspenseful. Like we know already like how he got infected and things like that, and I'm not gonna say how just because it might be a spoiler, even though I'm pretty sure it's in the back. Yeah, it's in the back of the book, so it's not really a spoiler. But he basically gets rabies from following this little rabbit that he was chasing, and now he's starting to realize that he's feeling different, not being himself. There was one scene that he was hanging out with his owner's neighbor, and then all of a sudden like he growled at him for the first time when he's very friendly with the neighbor. And in the book, like Stephen King was writing like, oh, Cujo realized that he wasn't acting himself and he felt embarrassed. Like he's realizing and is cognizant that this is happening to him, but it's not really like doing anything about it. And obviously he's not, because he's a dog, so it's kind of dumb for me to even think that he would. But anyways, and also the story is supposed to be like centered around Cujo in my ideas in my head, but really we've only gotten like 3 scenes with Cujo. That's it. Like the first one was like kind of like a future reference, I would say. The second one was what happened to him and how he got the rabies, and then the third one was that scene with the neighbor. Okay, I'm sorry, and a 4th scene with someone else, which was like the more scarier scene, suspenseful, I want to say. So I don't know, I'm conflicted. At first, like after reading like the first 20 pages, I was like, there's no way that I might DNF this. Like there's no way. But I did keep pushing myself. Right now I'm on page 95 and it's picked up a little bit. It's getting a little better, I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot of themes in this story that are like stressing me out, and I really like have a hard time swallowing and dealing with, especially in terms of like misogynistic a-holes. Most of the men in this story are misogynistic as fuck towards women. And I know that this is probably based like around the 80s, I think it is. And it's like the Northeasterners of the United States and things like that. And maybe Stephen King is trying to make it known of how it was back then in those times with the people that lived in the Northeast. I don't know. But also the people, like the culture maybe gives Northeast, but like the way that people talk, they kind of have like a twang in a sense, like it sounds very Southern, and maybe it's because some of these characters are from the South and moved to the North, but we don't know that. I don't know. I'm really like, the misogyny part is really like fucking with my head, and I'm having a really hard time sometimes. It makes me want to slam the book against the damn floor and not pick it up again, but I'm gonna keep pushing through, and I will obviously be honest with you guys if I do end up DNFing the book. Hey, that's how the vlog ends up going. But yeah, I'm 25% of the way through. not fully enjoying it, but I'm still kind of interested and intrigued to see what occurs because there's a lot of good reviews on Goodreads. You know, it's only rated 3.8 if I'm not wrong as an average on Goodreads, but I do see a lot of good reviews also, so I don't know. I'm hoping that it does turn around for me and I do enjoy it more. There is one little thing that I literally dog-eared the page because I have to read it to you guys because this is the prime example of like the misogynistic, trailer trash, horrible people that are in this book. As far as he was concerned, they were all a bunch of long-haired, muff diving, crab crawling, asshole pinko fucksticks. In the summer of '68, most of these hippies were on vacation in the Lakes region with their wealthy parents before returning to their colleges in September, where they were apparently studying up on the 3 Ps: protest, pot, and pussy. What is going on? Like, I don't know. I really want the story to start focusing more on Cujo. I understand that we're getting the other characters probably for a reason, and I hope it's a good reason, but I'm not liking the other characters besides the women. I'm just rooting for the women because these misogynistic assholes need a rude awakening of some sorts. But besides that, I don't have a crochet update because this weekend's been crazy. Like this past weekend was crazy with my family coming over. You saw we went to the beach and then we were hanging out, and then on Sunday, once they left, you know, we had to clean the house and go through the Sunday scaries. And the most that I did on Sunday was my nails. And I did a nice little blue for an end of summer hurrah. For, yeah, the crochet, I really only did 3 rows. So I don't have much of an update there. So I'm not going to show you guys that at all. I did finish the first portion of the second panel at the beach, which was nice. But because of that reason that I did that and I was stuck in the same position for a while, I got really severely burned on only one side of my back. So that's not fun. But anyways. Really, there's not much other updates here on this front. Today's Tuesday, like I said, we're having burgers. I really wish that I would have been filming this video 2 weeks ago when we were experimenting with different meals. You would have loved that content, but if we do any special meals, definitely I'll put it in the vlog for you guys. But the camera's letting me know it's dying, so I'll catch you soon, bestie. Happy Friday! Best day of the week! So, I am just getting out of my physical therapy session because the whole shoulder debacle that I was talking to you guys about at the beginning of this video. But anyways, I decided that I want to treat myself on a little self-care me day. And I've never been to an antique mall. I've never gone antiquing, and I always see Blondie Nuts here on YouTube go to antique malls in her towns, and I'm like, I really wish that we had one of those in my area. And quinkity dinky, there is an antique mall right next to the PT place that I go to. So I'm here now in the parking lot. It looks semi-big-ish. I think it's a pretty good size, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's very big, that there's a lot to look at. But I'm super excited. I'm counting on not buying anything, but I don't want to hold myself to it because I know how I am. If I see something cute and I want it, I'm gonna get it. So let's go antiquing, besties. I'm shocked at how large that store is. I was not expecting to only see 25% of it. I've been here, I want to say maybe an hour and a half, and I barely scratched the surface of that store. But I did come here with a little haul. It's a very tiny haul. I decided to go small, but there's so many things in there that I would have bought. So much nice china. I hope I got enough B-roll so you guys could kind of get a gist of what it is. But oh my god, I'll have to come back here multiple times. So I think it's time for the haul. Oh, she did bubble wrap my thing, so I might have to show you it at home. But then the other thing is a little thing that I wanted to get for David because he likes all the Nintendo stuff, Mario specifically. And he got a Luigi that was not able to stand on its own. So he wanted one that would actually stand, like as a little trinket, nothing crazy. And I got it because I found it here. And he's the most little darling thing ever. Look at him. He's so cute. So he does stand on his own. So luckily he'll be able to put it. So this is a little surprise to him. So babe, I know you're watching this video and you already received it at this point. But yeah, I was thinking of you as per usual. But he's so cute, right? And then the other thing is a little trinket for me for the bathroom because I've been collecting like ocean inspired blue green things, and it's really cute. It's like a little open shell with like some fish in it. You guys will see, it's super cute. So yeah, nice little self-care afternoon after PT. I'm gonna go back home and, you know, get things started. I have not even played with Seppi, and it is 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have a 30-minute drive home because I'm not very close. I will definitely catch you guys in the next clip with an update on reading and on crochet because I finished the panel, and I'm so excited because I'm going to start sewing it together. So updates very soon. And this is what I got myself. Isn't it so cute? I just got to clean it up a little bit, but she's such a cutie patootie. And he's excited with his Luigi. Hey! Good morning, bestie. Happy Sunday. So I have not given you updates on reading or on my crochet project, and I owe you guys those updates. So let's start with crochet first because I did already finish the second panel officially, because what was happening was that I thought I had it finished because I told you guys that it was done in the previous clip. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I was missing 5 more rows. So I finished the 5 rows that I was missing, and I got those done. I have everything pinned down on my blocking mat right now because I also already seamed up the sides as well as the shoulder piece to the back piece. So now let's turn you around to show you. I know that it's like here on top of my papasan chair, but that was like the only place I could put it that's not on the floor. So without the glare of or shadow of my camera, it's looking cute. So yeah, like I said, I seamed up the sides and I seamed up here already. So those are ready, and now I could focus on the neckline slash whatever this is called here on these sides, because I need to make the strings because it's a front tie vest, and then I need to work on the armholes just to make them, you know, look unison and like clean instead of like how it's looking like this, you know, like the stitches. So very simple, you know, just I think a row of single crochet around here for the armholes, and then for the neckline there is a specific thing in the pattern to do, which is pretty simple, not too difficult. So I'm expecting to get it done today. And then the other thing that I want to add onto here is pockets for him. So I'm going to make 2 like granny square pockets. I need to decide what colors I want to make the granny squares that match well with this yellow. And then I bought a fabric just now at Walmart to add it inside for his pockets. He is a cat man, so I bought him this cute little cat fabric. It's really cute, honestly. Like, and this was only $1 something for this little. It's not a yard or anything. It might be like half a yard. Let me see. I don't know. 18 by 21 inches, guys. If that's a yard, it's a yard, but I'm not sure. This should be enough for the 2 pockets that I'm thinking. I want to make the pockets like relatively big so they could like fill up this space and this space, but we'll see how that turns out. I'm a little nervous, but I think I got it. Not concerned on that. Now let's do a little reading update because I am 75% of the way through of Cujo. I know I didn't give you guys an update before that, but I really had nothing to say. Like, oh wait, this light is not helping. Hold on. Is that better? Not really. Overhead lighting always sucks, but whatever. So yeah, 75% of the way through with this. If it wasn't for the audiobook, I probably would not be that far. I'm being pretty honest with you because the story really, there's a lot of like in between that I really didn't care about. And I understand that it's building up the stories of these different families that we've been introduced to, but I really had not found the point as to why they had this entire like life written out in the story and not really like showing any Cujo scenes. Like, I don't know. But now that I'm 75% of the way through, I do have a little bit of an understanding why. So this is definitely very much psychological horror too, because there's a very big parallel that's happening right now between, we know that Cujo has rabies, and you know that rabies has that effect where they're like afraid of water. They can't drink water. It makes them feel bad, whatever. So he's like dying of thirst, and that's what's making him more rabid and more angry. And specifically right now, there is a mom and a little boy that's not his owners, it's someone else, like the other family that we've been following the story. They are, I believe it's either at their house or somewhere that they were going to, but they are locked in their car and they can't get out of their car because Cujo is like going around the car, making sure that they don't get out, because if they get out, he's planning to attack them. So the parallel is that these two humans are stuck in the car. They cannot turn the car because the car is broken too, so they're suffering in heat. They have no water, so they're suffering with the water like situation and all that. So that is a pretty nice parallel between humans going through what Cujo is experiencing with the rabies. I liked it, but again, it's not like jaw-dropping, mind-bending, super insane like premise. Like I don't know. We've had horror scenes. Someone that was an unlikable character, which most people in this book are unlikable characters. But one of the most unlikable ones, unfortunately / fortunately, got killed by Cujo. And it was a pretty descriptive horror scene. It wasn't like super gory. Like, you know, it definitely went into like, and he grabbed his throat and, you know, ripped it apart or whatever. So there is some gore, but it's not an extreme horror. And it's not extreme gore where like it's nasty and it's hard to read or go through. So the horror aspect is pretty average, nothing too insane. One thing that I'm struggling with is that they reference Black people with the hard R N word, and I don't like that particularly. Like, I understand that, you know, this was different times and things like that, but I don't know, since times are so different and I don't like reading those things in books or even seeing them in movies, I kind of feel like uncomfortable. So fair warning on that, definitely. But I did want to read you guys one little section here because I was crocheting last night and listening to the book, and when this part came up, I was like, what is the need to include this specific detail about this person? So I'm gonna read you guys this. George Mira, the mailman, lifted one leg clad in blue-gray post office issue and farted. Just lately, he farted a great deal. He was mildly worried about it. It didn't seem to matter what he had been eating. Last night, he and his wife had creamed cod on toast and he had farted. This morning, Kellogg's Product 19 with a banana cut up in it and he had farted. This noon, down at Mellow Tiger in town, 2 cheeseburgers with mayonnaise and ditto farts. What is the reason? Please tell me, what is the reason of including those details in here? Like, I kept like listening and going through the chapter, and it's like we keep going in on how he is a farter. I don't get it. I don't see how it adds anything to the story. It was a hell of a thing, this farting. You had to be pretty damn careful when you were out in company. What value does this add to the story? Please tell me. Yeah, 75% of the way through. I'm planning to finish this off now while I finish crocheting the neckline and the armholes on the project. I don't know, unfortunately this has not been hitting for me. Let's see how the last 25% goes. Fingers crossed that it picks up, but I don't know. I don't know. Alrighty besties, we have made it to the end of this vlog because I have officially finished Cujo finally, and also I have some pretty big updates in terms of the sweater vest that I'm doing for David. It's not a sweater vest, I keep saying that, it's a front tie vest. So I'm putting some b-roll here as I speak so you guys could see. I have done the pockets. I did like a daisy pocket and I extended it out to make it like a bigger pocket, and then I also have done the actual lining of one of the pockets already with the cat fabric that I got him that I showed you guys in an earlier clip. I'm surprised that I did the lining so well because I hand sewed that myself, like with a little needle, and that was a little difficult and my neck was hurting a lot, but I got it done and I thought it looks pretty good honestly for what I did for like one of the first times. This is how most likely the finished product will look. I do still have to like sew the pockets onto the actual vest, and then I'm considering adding buttons to it, but I'm not really sure just yet if I am going to do that. So most likely I will have a completed project in a following future vlog. But yeah, I made a lot of progress with this actual vest this time around. Like I took such a big break from the vest, like 2 or 3 months from it, and then I jumped back in and I basically completed it all in 1 week. So I really hate that I let go of projects and I decide to start others, but then when I go back and I get back onto that project that I let go of, it's like so fast to finish it. But anyways, enough crochet talk. It's time to talk Cujo. Wow, that hit me in the face. So, oh my gosh, guys, I don't want to say disappointed because I'm not disappointed, but definitely my expectations were not met when it comes to the book. I feel like it was so heavily focused on the humans versus the dogs, and if it was gonna be that way, I feel like they should have probably expanded more on the horror scenes then. You know, I feel like Stephen King did do the horror scenes well for the most part, especially since he's like such a renowned author of horror, but I feel like it fell a little flat. You know, the horror scenes were still very good, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I just feel like it left me wanting more. And you know, the themes within the book were decent. There was things that like really did not work out for me, like I've mentioned in other updates, and I don't want to repeat them, but all in all, I did rate the book a 3-star. You know, the writing style it took a little bit to get used to in the beginning. It's not that it's hard to comprehend or anything. It's just that it's such a slow moving, slow paced type of writing style that it makes you feel like you're dragging to get to the point, to the next point, to the next point. Like, it was a struggle bus when I started the book for sure. You don't get into the nitty gritty until like at least halfway, and really the last 25% of this book is the best part, honestly, which is where all the good action scenes happen and like where the real big moments of the story are happening. And the payoff was decent, it was worth it, but again, like, I feel like this story could have gotten in a completely different direction. I don't know. I guess I am a little disappointed. I am. I had high expectations. I had high hopes for this. I was hoping to start wanting to get into my Stephen King bag and start reading all of his backlists and things like that, but after this one, I feel like I'd rather take a break before I even consider reading another one of Stephen King's books. And this is probably a hot take, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I have to be honest with you guys, and it's just, I feel like, you know, I read a lot of horror books, and I had this envision that Stephen King is like the king of horror and he was gonna have like the best book ever, like not only this one, but like multiple of them. And there's so many people on the internet that rage about Stephen King. Like they have all his special editions and all of like everything. And these are people that I watch religiously, that I really do trust their recommendations and their opinions because I've read books that they've recommended and I've enjoyed myself. But I don't know. I guess Stephen King might not be for me, but I'm not solely completely swearing him off. I am gonna give him another try. I don't know what book to give another try, to give Stephen King another try. I'm gonna ask you guys actually, leave me a comment if you have read Stephen King. Which one of his books do you recommend for me to read? Remember, I am a horror fan through and through, and I like my horror nasty, gory, horrible. So just keep that in mind, bear that in mind. And if you have read Cujo, what would you recommend outside of this book that would kind of change my perspective on Stephen King and make me actually like his writing and his books and his stories. Because the best way I could describe this was Struggle Bus 101. So yeah, very sad that was the turnout for this book, but it's okay. We live and we learn. Not every book is going to be the one, and that's perfectly okay. I'm so happy that I read it. I'm so happy I did this vlog. This vlog has been super fun filming. I feel like this book kind of got me a little bit in a reading slump, but because I picked up another book, which was The Rivaled Crown by Holly Renee, which is book 3 of the Veiled Kingdom trilogy or whatever. And I literally, like, it's not that I DNF'd it, but I just paused it because I was like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I don't know what's going on. Because I wasn't a big fan of book 1, but I did like book 2 a lot. And then now book 3, I'm like, this is not what I remember, but I'm not here to talk about that. So then I was like, I really think that Stephen King has put me in a damn book slump. So I picked up my contemporary romance that I had on my TBR for August, which was Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And to say that I'm already halfway after reading it only for 2 days should tell you how much I'm loving the book. But I don't want to talk too much about it because it's going to steal the thunder from Stephen King, and this is his vlog, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But if you like me and this video, make sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that I post a new video. And if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment the dog emoji for Cujo, just so I know who the real ones are that stayed all the way to the very end and suffered along with me the entire time. And with that, besties, let's get hooked.